to the Northern Knits podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is,
Diana.
I'm told, is episode 369, according to the YouTubes that track the videos we've put out, which, oh boy, it's handy at this point.
Tell you, if I didn't have digital things tracking my life,
God, my
so
life would
lost.
just be,
Be in pieces.
it would be that dumpster fire we all see the memes of. That's what it would be for me. It would be bad.
It
I
starts turning
like
into a dumpster fire every time I stop tracking things.
I like schedules. I like having schedules. I like having bedtimes. I like having alarms telling me it's time to go do stuff. I am a fan.
Useful.
I am a fan.
It's
I'm the
useful.
human who color coordinated her notes in university. Okay, I know I'm not normal.
Oh, I also
No,
did that.
I loved with highlighters, but your highlighter, like your highlighter tab things that you could buy. Different colored tabs meant different things when you put them on the book pages to mark your pages of your textbook, and then they peeled right off and didn't damage the book. Oh yeah.
I had I don't think I did that. I didn't really have textbooks because it was computer science, but
History. We had textbooks for days.
so I did color coordinating, but it was a different system.
Totally fair. All right. We just did a whip sprint this past Saturday, so Diana actually has to go first because she has more projects on the go than I do right now because the two big things I have on the go are secret crafting, which I cannot talk about till later this week.
Okay.
So while I
And
technically have seven, nope, six, I can talk about four.
all right. I will start with the little guy in the thumbnail,
Okay,
for which I wore this delightful axolotl shirt.
of course you did.
Uh, in case anybody's like, where did you get that shirt? Morningwitch.com. I'll put it in the show notes. She does these like crazy good fabric patterns and then makes like crop tops and t-shirts and pants and jackets and it's
Very
great.
cute
Check it out.
stuff. Very cute
Anyway,
stuff.
I'm in an axolotl. There's a little amigurumi axolotl. Bleep bleep. I put one of the eyes on slightly too far apart, so he's kind of looking off to the side a little bit, but that's okay.
This is all my fault, guys. I saw the axolotl pattern and I shared it with her, and I was like, "You need one of these."
The pattern claimed that it would take under an hour, and it did. Like I took a break to eat, and it was still under an hour.
Okay, that's a fast crochet then.
It's meant to be done with the super chunky fuzzy blanket yarn,
Oh,
but
hey.
I don't have that. I had worsted weight, so I just correspondingly made it, picked a smaller
Smaller.
hook, and it worked out just fine.
Sweet.
So that's I brought it up so that I would know what it is. It's the No Sew Crochet Axolotl pattern by Stitch by Faye.
Ooh.
It's a free pattern on our website. Bless you. Weep weep.
Oh, I'm glad.
I just I've decided for whatever reason the tiny triceratops go bleep and
Okay.
the axolotl goes mweep. It's a subtle but a very important difference.
I am never going to remember that. I'm just telling you right now.
Anyway, that's what I did. See if I can
I'm
get into
very glad it
mountains.
worked out as fast as it said it did.
It works exactly as fast as it says it does. It's absolutely delightful. Highly recommend.
Ah, beautiful.
I was
Excellent.
giggling the entire time I was making this thing. Like I finished the head and put the eyes in. Like this is just the sweetest little thing.
Excellent. Good. Get you to the point where you're just making an army of small amigurumi animals to take to DEF CON and B-sides.
Yeah, yeah. The
Now, do you have
axolotl is even
anything?
easier than the triceratops, so it might be an army of axolotls.
Can you imagine that jumping out of your suitcase?
I
Contents
just
under
brought a
pressure.
hundred axolotls.
It's axolotls everywhere.
Oh, see, now I've got an idea for a series where you just do axolotl a day.
Uh-huh. It takes less than an hour. You could do that with your morning breakfast.
Oh, well, this is a terribly good idea. Gosh darn it.
It's not Jocelyn level. You have a commitment thing. You're committed. It's not that intense. But it's not like so relaxed that you're not going to get into the groove of it. If you're doing something every day, you get into the habit and then it's nothing. It's just a part of your day.
Ah, well, gosh darn it. Keep an eye out for an axolotl a day.
I think that'd be great if you did that. Especially because then you could pick different colors. They could like a different color every day.
Yeah.
In delightful news, you have to go again.
In delightful news, I have to go again. Okay.
Because you have how many?
6.
I have four.
Gosh darn it. Okay. Well, let's talk about the other new thing because everybody likes new things.
We do enjoy a new thing here on the channel.
I have been wanting to cast on a jelly roll blanket for probably a year and a half at this point.
There has been discussions of it. Can I see what I'm doing? I do not think I have dropped a stitch. Continue.
So while we were doing whip sprints on Saturday, I spur of the moment decided to add it to the wheel of deciding what I work on next.
Hmm.
Cast on jelly roll blanket, and the very next thing that came up was jelly roll blanket. So the universe has spoken, and I've cast on a jelly roll blanket. Only I'm going to make it a scarf. I'm going to make it long enough that it can go from one knee around my neck back down to the other knee, and then just as wide as I feel like it needs to be.
Oh, I think
So
that's an
it'll be a
amazing
blanket
idea.
scarf.
It's an
So it'll be
amazing
long and
idea.
skinny. So that's all I've got so far. That's what 25 minutes of work gets you when
Well,
you
you
have to.
also swatched the smaller needles, didn't like it, had to grab
Yeah,
some yarn, then had to decide what yarn to start with. It was
yeah,
an
and then I had
intense
to.
25 minutes.
So, and then, do you like my needles?
I do.
I My only free needles of the size that I wanted had a 40-inch cord on them,
It's a bit
which is
long.
obscene for 20 stitches.
A bit long.
So I just put some little needle, like some end cap needle stopper things on the ends of my interchangeable needles. Because this is all I need. It's all I need. If I get some free needles of, because it's sock needle size, but my other sock needles are in socks right now. So, if I get some free needles of a size that does not require a 40-inch cord,
Or just buy
uh,
some DPNs.
yeah, well, I mean, that's essentially what I've made.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm just using all my scraps and stuff. If I lean to the side, the scraps in that red tin behind me,
Yes.
yeah, I'm just gonna alternate between picking a light one and a dark one.
Which is
So I started
perfect.
with a light one. I think it's a leftover bird colorway from Fireweed Fibre Co. Could not tell you which one, but it's a light bluish gray with some darker blue speckles. And that's color number 1 of the Jelly Roll blanket scarf.
I'm
I'm
excited. I'm
very excited.
glad. I'm glad you finally casted that on because you've been talking
Uh,
about it for a hot minute.
I really have, and
Hot
it's a nice
minute.
relaxing knit to just go back and forth and back and forth and back.
Oh, so good.
Am
So
I working on
good.
it right now? No, no, I'm working on the different relaxing knit.
That's fine. You're not going to hear me tell you no. I'm always encouraging you to cast on. In fact, I think I've been known for posting things like axolotl patterns and going,
Yes.
hey, Diana.
And then suddenly an axolotl exists? Yeah, it happens.
It showed up on my Google thing. Google's like, hey, you might like this link. I was like, oh, I do. Thanks, Google. You're a genius.
So yeah, axolotls.
I've got a t-shirt I'm working on. It probably should be on a longer cord, but it is not. This is the Barocco Indigo linen I am working in. I am working up from a bottom up. So I did a little garter hem there. Garter, garter, goodness. And I'm literally going to make a body tube. There is currently no pattern. Once I've reached body tube length, I will see how much yarn I have left. And if I have very little left, I will make a tank top. And if I have enough left, I will make a t-shirt. And I'm going to let the volume of yarn decide which way I go. But I wanted a long enough body. So I was like, okay, bottom up.
Hmm.
That way I can make the decision. Since obviously, if you're making tank top straps, you use a lot less yarn than you do if you're going all the way around your shoulders, plus adding sleeves,
This is true.
even if they're short sleeves. Even if
Yes,
they're
tank
short
top
sleeves,
straps are much less
much less yarn.
material.
So we make progress slow and steady. It's not fast. It's a lot of stitches in the round because I am not a small human. But my progress creeper says I have made progress.
Woo! Progress.
About an inch's worth. Not too bad considering I literally picked this up on Saturday and today. So an inch and 25 minutes plus whatever I'm working on it today. I couldn't tell you. Uh, I will update that stitch marker for progress keeping purposes and pass the turn to you. I like this
Okay.
going second and not having as many projects. Oh, this feels weird.
Shall I talk about a test knit?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's not rip the needles out.
I mentioned how slippery linen yarn is.
Is it?
Oh yeah. There's less grip than cotton.
Okay. So I have to not show off the entire octopus,
Those were the rules
but
given to you by the
those are the
designer.
rules. Yes. I think we can go about that much. We can go about half an octopus.
Octopuses! They're very cute.
They're so tentacly.
They're
Ah!
so good. Such a gorgeous pattern. Who is this that you're testing for?
This is by Goody Two Sticks. The pattern will
Okay.
be coming out. I don't have an exact pattern release date, but I think the test knit's done in May, so it should be coming out end of May, beginning of June.
Hopefully, 'cause
I
that's
will let you
quite
know
gorgeous.
and
Oh,
link to it.
super
Um,
pretty. How are you doing on your milestones?
Let me finish showing off the thing, and then oh wow,
No, I
that
want
was
the
a
guilt trip to start. Come on now.
wait, where'd it go? It's so hard to so hard. There's a little cable detail. There we go. I've started the little cable details. There's a wiggly cable detail down the front.
Okay.
But also, hey, look at my floats. Aren't they so pretty? I can show you the backside. Look at this float management.
You've gotten very good with the jacquard floats.
Just admire that float
That's
management.
so
Never mind
pretty.
that end that's in the middle there. But just
That's fine.
admire that float management. Also, the
Story time.
octopus contrast color, you need less than a skein. So I had that the color that I used for the octopus is Bad Romance from
Yeah.
it's all from Fireweed Fibre Co, but it's Bad Romance,
Okay.
the purple with the pink speckles.
Yes.
Um, so I was using my leftover from when I made the amazing cowl,
Hey,
which
yes.
I should have waited before I started, but I didn't. I had to
What? You not doing
wind
things we always tell you to do?
I had to wind my full skein for a
Yep.
row and a half.
Yep.
I had to break into a full skein for a row and a half,
Uh-huh. Well done.
and I'm so annoyed.
Well done.
Anyway, definitely takes less than a skein because I'm pretty sure I had like 60 grams at most of the other
Okay.
ball. Not that I weighed it, but I'm guessing it was around 50, 60 grams. And then a row and a half of a full skein. So definitely under a skein, even at I'm making a size 6, which is a 52-inch circumference.
Yeah, it's my circumference.
So, and then you need even less of that for the border colors.
You're working for the oversized baggy sweater instead of just inheriting it from me this time.
I'm doing the work. And also I've split for sleeves.
Good.
Good, good. Um, but the curse of apparently I can't attach my sleeves properly has struck
Continues.
again. Yeah. So
For you, it's a thing. Like for me, it's ribbing. For you, it's that sleeve separation.
it's the sleeve separation because when I did Mr. Diana's sweater, I did the sleeves like a full 20 stitches wrong on bulky weight yarn. Like it was very wrong. This,
I remember that.
mercifully, I counted so carefully, but I'm somehow still off by 2 stitches.
Okay, two's nothing.
I fudged it. I wasn't
Yeah.
about to go
Two,
back.
two stitches is nothing. Two stitches is
Two
totally
stitches
fudgeable.
at DK weight. I just decreased
Totally
2 on the
fudgeable.
front and increased 2 on the back. We're fine.
Fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
Oh my God.
I just fudged it.
Oh, that's so funny.
And I checked so carefully. I counted everything like 3 times and I was still somehow 2 stitches off. I don't know.
Oh,
I
so
don't
good.
know.
So long as you know where your curses are, that's the important part.
So maybe the third time I separate for sleeves on a sweater, I'll actually do it right. The first time, maybe. We can only hope. But I'm doing my test knitted job. I've found like things with the pattern and like made notes. I have
Good.
notes.
Good.
So I found problems and how to fix them. And so like I'm doing my job.
Good.
I'm just
Good.
a bit slow.
Well, how much body do you have to get in it?
I think the pattern calls for 12 inches, but I'm gonna hold it up against that store-bought dinosaur sweater I have, the white one with the green dinosaurs.
Because
I'm
that's the one
making
you
it to
like.
those dimensions because
Yeah,
it's also about 52 inches. So
yeah,
I'm gonna make the body and sleeves match that because I really like how that sweater fits.
that's totally
So
fair.
I don't know if I actually have to do 12 inches. I haven't measured.
See, like you're gonna be a couple of days behind because you said it was Wednesday, right? You had to have the body done by.
Yeah.
But like if you've got it done by like Friday,
Yeah.
then you're not too far behind, and then you can just power through some sleeves real quick.
Yeah. And the body is pretty easy. It's just got a little cabley pattern on the front and
But
back, but
yeah,
it's
so
otherwise it's mostly plain stockinette, so I can vroom.
room. Yeah,
I
okay.
can
So it's not
vroom.
too bad because like it's not fingering weight, which does take a
It's
while
not
for inches
fingering
to
weight,
grow.
and I'm done the gosh darn
And
octopuses.
you're done with so it's not it's a tight goal, but it's still achievable.
It is achievable, but
You've
I will only
definitely
be a
lost your
little bit
wiggle
late
room.
for this milestone.
You've lost your wiggle room, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Not that I had any to begin with, and I thoroughly lost it.
Thoroughly lost it. Okay. I suppose that means it's my turn again.
It is.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it quickly because, well, quite frankly, this is a long-term project. Long-term project. I I'm starting my pillowcases. So
Nice.
this is the width of a pillowcase for me for the cottagecore granny square lifestyle, my bed wishes to live. I need to make another 2 rows so that it's as tall as I need it to be. And if you're thinking, Jocelyn, why so big? It's because Jocelyn buys the king-sized, super firm stuffed pillows because she sleeps on her sides. I'm exclusively a side sleeper. I can't sleep on my back. I can sleep sitting up. I cannot sleep on my back lying down. I don't sleep on my stomach lying down. The girls are too big. My back bows. It's just, I sleep on my side. It is best for me. It is best for anybody who has to share a bedroom with me because I snore because of my allergies. Diana can contest. I don't snore as loud if I'm on my side. It's just how it works. I'm fine with being a given how much stuff I'm allergic to that just exists in the air. Does it shock anybody that I snore? I can't breathe through my nose 95% of my life. Of course I snore.
Apparently I'm snoring. Apparently there's enough pollen in the air that I'm snoring.
Well, given that you once delightfully described your husband as a lawnmower riding a bear, and it wasn't inaccurate, he does not have space to complain.
True.
It, he just does not. So I need to do some more strips. I decided to do the pillowcases, even though I have more bedspread still to connect together, simply because the next Karen Cake cotton yarn that I want to use is the Blush and Bloom yarn, which is currently being turned into a solstice cardigan first. So I need to finish the solstice cardigan before I can make any more inside squares.
Hmm.
So I'm going to make 2 pillowcases and get those done. And then I will finish making whatever I can for the additional strips on the sides that I need to get the width for the bedspread. Because I've got the length of the bedspread fine and it's sewn together. I just need one more row on either side for width measurements, to be exact. And guys, I'm winging this. Like I literally started by just making a bunch of squares and said I was going to put them together and see how many more I had to make. So like I'm right on track. I'm right on track. So pillowcases need to be done and sewn to their sacks that will hold them. That's an attractive thought to think about. These won't hold their shape on their own, so I'm sewing them to a pillowcase
That
so that
makes
they
sense.
maintain pillowcase shape. And then hopefully by the end of the month, we're finished. Because it's only a week or two for me to do a crochet cardigan when I sit down and think about it. And I've got it sat on the bed. I didn't like the smaller hook, so it's all ripped out. So I have a beautiful pile of yarn barf covered with a blanket so the cat doesn't disturb it. Instead of actually winding it up properly so she can't play with it, I just put the sheet over top. So that way if she lies on it, she just lies on the sheet, not the yarn.
Hmm.
Priorities, people. I did not want to roll all I didn't want to wind all that yarn up again. So if I can get the body done, and it's a bottom up cardigan, by the time I get up to where you split for sleeves, you're doing the front panels and the back panel at the same time. So like I'm 2/3 done the moment I get up to my armpits. And it's long enough. And there's fringe. So it's not like I have to, it's a long cardigan, but it's not like I have to crochet the whole length of the cardigan because a good chunk of that is fringe at the bottom.
Hmm.
So I just have to make past past the butt, upper thigh length. That's a week's worth of work for me. So hopefully I can have a new cardigan and a fully finished bedspread by the end of May. Here's hoping.
Good luck.
Thank you. I may need it.
Yes, okay. During whip sprints, I worked on the Librarian Pullover for a very little amount. Look at that progress keeper, but progress, hey,
It counts.
it counts. This is the Librarian Pullover by Skein Deer Knits. And the yarn is Cinnamon Apricot Spice from Dragon Horde Yarns. It's a lovely russety red with neps. It's tweed.
It's tweed, guys.
It's got bits.
It's so cute.
Oh, and there we go. Start brown marker. Yeah. I think once I finally finish this set of lattices, it might be as long as it's supposed to be because it's cropped.
Hey, that'd be good.
Let me hold that up. How does this compare to the crop that oh. Yeah, I think that's actually an accurate statement as I hold this up to the crop top that I'm currently wearing that you absolutely can't see, but
That's fine.
trust me. So I've got half a chart more, and then I think I split for sleeves. Hey, maybe this is the time where I'll put the sleeves on the right place.
One can only hope.
One can only hope that I will put
That
the
yarn's
sleeves in the right
from Tristan
place.
of Dragon Horde Yarns, right?
Yes, this is Dragon Horde Yarns.
Such a pretty dyer. And then the Librarian is by Skein Deer Knits. I know that because I also have the pattern and I'm technically supposed to be working on it.
That was for our little long that we started in December, which has no end date. So if you want to make a librarian bookish themed sweater of some sort, you're welcome to join us in our little long.
I might be able
It's
to pick mine up in June.
it's going to take a while.
Don't worry about it, guys. You got time.
You got time.
On my lovely foam head, I have a wig. It's a lot of wig. It's a lot of wig. But more importantly, I finished that Crochet Snood. Now, I was worried that the fingering weight might be too small for the volume of hair that I have. And I'm correct, it is. However, I left it pinned to my mannequin so I could show you what it's kind of supposed to look like against a contrast color, the mannequin here. So you could see it stretched out and start to see that lace pattern.
It's very pretty.
It is very pretty. It fits around my head just fine. It just doesn't fit all of my hair, right? So
Mm,
worsted was a bit big. Fingering is a bit small. So I'm going to try DK weight next.
okay.
It's been a delightful. It's been a delightful discovery pattern. Also means I'll know when I get out and I've done the basic 17 rows, 16 rows for this. I can take a look and compare it to the size of the fingering weight one. And if it's just as big and not any larger, I know to do another repeat of rows 7, 8, and 9 to
Sure.
make it even larger, to have more space. But look at how cute that is. Like just look at that lace.
That is adorable.
It's so easy because it's just slips. It's chaining one in or chaining 6, 7, 8, just different chain lengths, and then you're single crocheting into the middle of those chain lengths to make these loops. Crochet lace is so easy, so easy. I love crochet lace so much,
It's very pretty.
but I couldn't show you on the back of my head because, well, quite frankly, I wouldn't be able to see where I was looking. But that's okay. My mannequin head to the rescue. This was the wig that I got when we did those gender bends of the fairy tale characters.
Yeah.
My gray full buster wig. Long wig. But this head has no, it's a foam head. There's no support in there, so she likes to fall over a lot. Put her down carefully. I used scrap yarn, and I'm going to use more. Actually, Susanna sent me a bunch of DK weight cotton yarn or
Ooh,
Karen cake yarn. So I'm going to use that, right? So for the fingering weight version, I had this beautiful pinky into yellow, white, pink into white. I would say a yellowy white. I could be reading the colors wrong at this point. So this is going to go into my Cowl project bag because that's where I pulled it out from. So that the rest of this can go into the Cowl of Doom, also known as Fiddly Bits. All right, my dear. That means you're up. But I did have an FO this week, so we both had FOs this week, which was great. How is it from the time I put a project down till I pick a project up, if it's in the round, somehow the yarn gets moved around in the wrong direction?
I don't know. It's magic.
Magically frustrating. Okay, so while I argue
I
with this, you're up.
just gonna pull up a loop here. I did a little bit more work. I did a little bit more work on my uh, lounge pants. Now let's hold them right way up. See, look, they're
Pants.
pants. They're pants.
Your pants.
So I think I got like two or three more rows done
Which
on
is
one leg.
good.
Not a lot, but we're progressing. We're getting there. These are gonna be so ridiculous to wear.
Cannot
And my yarn
wait.
has decided to barf a tangle, and it's my yarn's a mess. But the
I'm
pants are
seeing.
glorious. You know when you get to the end, you're at the end of a ball and we've been center pulling and it's just all floopy and it turns into spaghetti.
Yep.
I'm at that stage, but it's with the giant chunky Karen anniversary cake.
Ugh,
So that's where that's at.
that could be a problem for you.
Anyway, that's Crochet Lounge Pants by Mermaid Cat Designs. And the yarn is Karen Anniversary Cakes in colorway, I want to say Sticks and Stones. It's a self-striping gray, off-white, yellow, brown, dark gray.
Ha ha ha, I got the yarn all
Pretty
untangled in
tones.
it. Go
Ugh,
be.
that's a mess down on the floor that I will put away properly later.
Then I'll
That
have
is
to
a
pick.
later problem, is
That
what
is a
that
later
is.
problem. Oh boy, later problems. Future Diana's gonna be so grumpy.
Yeah, it's not too far future, Diana.
All right, the project on the floor is my fiddly bits.
Hey,
God, I love this project cat bag. So cute. So cute. In fact, let's put this pink crochet snood yarn just right back in the bag where it belongs. Let's just do that
perfect.
right now.
Staying on top of keeping things clean and organized.
Listen, should see my living room. It's not fit for human habitation yet. Notice I didn't say company, I said human habitation.
Oh dear.
We still got a lot of stuff all over the place, but I am very slowly making progress. I attached a new color. We're working with this beautiful Dick. I don't, it has like all the colors.
Purplish.
It's got purple.
Purple and friends.
It's got colors adjacent to purple. It's got light colors. It's got dark colors. I love variegated skeins of yarn, but describing them sometimes is interesting. So I made the color switch. Hang on, wait, this cowl is getting quite long. Ugh, God, jeez. Oh, Moose, why must I knit inside out and backwards? I ask you this.
I don't know.
I don't know either. It's quite traumatic and problematic for me. So I refuse to learn to knit left-handed. She's like, nah, I just am left-handed. It's fine. Everybody knows we're gonna run through this real quick. This is the Fiddly Bits cowl. I am making it out of larger scaled leftovers instead of literally like the little fiddly bits that the pattern was initially designed for. So to randomize my colors switching, every time I reach a rough inch estimate that equals a number in pi, in the pi sequence, I change colors. So I was working in this very wide blue-white striped section, which is really cool because like here it's striped, but way down at the beginning when I used it first, we absolutely color pooled.
Interesting.
So like it looks totally different in two different sections, but it's okay. What do I know about yarn? I didn't do too bad for my progress keeper way down here at the start of the blue-white section. I made it all the way through a good solid 4+ inches of knitting in the round. And I transitioned to my next color, which has to be 5 inches. This was supposed to be 6 inches. I absolutely gave up at 5 inches, so I'm going to make this 6 inches. Mostly because I didn't check before I switched colors, which it's entirely my fault. So that's fine. So we are technically officially halfway to my wingspan now instead of almost halfway,
Nice.
which means
And
we're a quarter of the way there.
because you're going for wingspan doubled, right?
Wingspan doubled, yeah. Can you imagine this wingspan doubled?
It's gonna be epic.
It's going to be epic. However, getting there is going to be a slog.
It's a long-term project.
Long-term project. However, it's not like I'm not going to be creating more fingering weight leftovers and scraps as I go, so I'm not worried about it. We're gonna move our progress creeper up, which I've decided is reindeer, just because. And I'm going to turn this back so it is back to being inside out. Jeez, I have to be careful because I've got it on a shorter cord, which I quite enjoy. Like I like magic loop. I don't think I'm ever going to stop doing magic loop, but for something this long term,
When you
it's
can
kind
just
of
go roundy
nice.
roundy and not mess around with magic loop, it's
It's
nice.
kind of nice, yeah. So shorter cords definitely have their place. I'm not going to give up magic looping my socks though.
Well, no, that's just handy for telling front from back.
Yeah, I really prefer magic loop for socks, but roundy roundy for like sleeves or like cowls and stuff like that's working out quite nicely for me. Okay, so there we go. A whole bunch of random skeins of yarn, very quickly turning into a tube of colorful. Duh, am I doing? It's going to be loud. It's going to be obnoxious, and I'm already thinking I've got a white lace vest, that very thin store bought white lace vest that I have in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking like a long sleeve shirt, that vest, that scarf, like full on art teacher it.
Oh, yes.
Yes, full on
Yes.
art teacher it. I do have jeggings, like I still do have pants. Like I may even wear them with pants.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That
Because
might be too crazy.
the art teacher would wear pants with knee-high boots or mucklucks and things, right?
Okay,
That would be
fair.
the art teacher vibe. So that would fit the vibe. But like just putting around the house, huh, heavens no. A skirt all the way. Pants are very uncomfortable. I love my skirts and my dresses. Why? This was less than 15 seconds to put together. It was, hey, this dress, cool, that cardigan, and I'm done. About the why would I add extra thinking to my morning? That's I don't want to think in the morning. That's crazy pants. Crazy pants. All right. That is my last project that I
All
have to talk
right.
about. So you, my dear, are up. Oh, I love these weeks when you have more than me. Oh, just messes with my brain, but I do like it.
All right. I just got a few more stitches to finish this round on
Man, my
my
hair is
recording
so wet
project.
still. I braided it while it was wet. It's still so wet. It's fine.
Okay. I've just finished a round on my vanilla socks out of Coffee in That Nebula. It's so bright. I have a color scheme today.
You do. My
I
goodness.
I have a color palette and I like it.
It's a
So
good color
I since
palette.
last week I have finished the heel and I've done about an inch more above the heel. And if I was making shorties, I could stop now and just do a cuff. But I'm not making shorties. I'm making tall ones because I like tall ones because I like to wear boots and shorties and boots doesn't really work.
Not so much now.
Not that I don't also wear shorties when I'm not wearing boots, but I,
Crazy pants. Guys, before we get to admin, I know Diana is still waiting for her package because poor Erin of Fireweed Fibre Co. has had some serious deadlines the last little bit.
it's fine. I get my yarn when I get my yarn. I am not in a rush. It's fine.
We've both told Erin that we should be at the bottom of every list when it comes to mailing things. We
It
specifically
comes when it
say,
comes.
just put us last. Do not stress. We are happy when it arrives. We are so not worried about these things because we know how hard she works. My April yarn literally walked through the door just before we started recording. She's literally gone again tomorrow. Like they just got back from a thing. They're literally gone to another thing tomorrow. They're off to Jasper for that retreat that Hippie Strings does with Cozy Up Knit Girls, I think. And
Oh
then
yeah,
she's
yeah.
home long enough to turn around and she's off to Knit City, Toronto. So like this time of year is bonkers for her. Absolutely bonkers. But I do have April's yarn. So I'm going to show you guys the April Club yarn in the tweed fingering weight base, which is one of her new bases. It's called I Like a Fresh Bowl. I forgot to ask her how the because I don't watch Ally McBeal. But look at this freaking color.
I
Just
like
look at
it.
that. Oh, so
I don't know
pretty.
if it's coming across properly on thing, but it looks a bit like this color. It's coming. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yours is probably different. But it looks a bit like this.
a little bit like that. I want to go like blue or green. It's definitely in the lighter range. So I don't know how bright the non-tweed base is going to be because the tweeds end up being a bit dark and a bit rich, right? So I of course
Yeah.
love them. And they've got these beautiful darker flecks in here. And I couldn't tell you today is not a great Jocelyn, what is that color day? Today is not great. Jocelyn, what is that color day?
Wait, there's definitely some speckles of like
But
blue.
I think it's a darker blue. All I know is it looks good next to my skin,
Yes, it does.
which is the only thing I really care about. Because I may have found a free cardigan pattern that uses DK weight skeins and fades. So you use four single
Mm.
skeins and fade, and my knitting is so tight. I could make the fingering weight version. Okay, guys, my knitting is so tight that I can take a DK weight pattern, use the needles called for gauge, go down a yarn weight, and have gauge.
Yeah, I don't understand how you do that and like not murder your hands.
My hands, the only thing that murders my hands is working with worsted double on a 5 millimeter hook. Amigurumi is hard for my fingers. The rest of it I don't find taxing in the slightest. Like I could do it for 8 to 12 hours a day. It does it? My wrist gets angry well before my hands do. So I'm like, I have been collecting this tweed fingering, and I'm like, how do I want to use it? And I was thinking maybe like traveler shawl for a while, but that's really for a DK shawl. So it's like, okay, no, maybe I really want to do that DK weight. That is a DK weight shawl. But then I'm like, but I do need more cardigans. And this, and then go find some antique buttons, and then I can have like an Ally McBeal cardigan. Even though I don't watch the show, it's fine. I'm so happy that she's doing something to honor her mom's memory because
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard to lose family members. I also love the fact that she absolutely keeps my vision in mind. She
Oh
prints my
yeah,
labels.
that's legible. Holy.
Jocelyn can read this label. I don't even want to wonder about the extra work that she puts into things for me because it is super not necessary. I would have pulled out my magnifying glass. It's fine. I don't, but I love that I don't have to unless
I
I'm
saw the
buying
teaser
stuff.
picture for the May color.
Oh, I
Looks like
have
such a
the May
gorgeous red.
color. The next 3 months just showed up, so like I can look at the May color right now, right off screen. Yeah,
Okay, show it to me when we're not recording.
I will show it to you when we are not recording. So there we go. I have April's yarn. So which is good because now I have January. I sent February to Asa as the yarn exchange because I know she wanted to try the base and they were definitely Asa colors, and she is very excited. So I have January, I have March, and now I have April, and that's three DK weight skeins, and they work fairly well together, or fingering weight skeins, and I only need four fingering weight skeins to make a sweater. So I might be able to start a very pretty lacy cardigan. It's so cute. It's just got a little lace detailing on the raglan and down
Hmm.
the sides on the sweater. Otherwise, it's just a basic stockinette sweater, except for those cute little lace details. And I'm just like, I don't lace cardigans. Apparently, that's where my vibes are going. So, okay, cool. What do I know? What do I know?
I'm
But I
looking
have to.
at my octopus sweater and I'm like, I bet I could do some math and make a fingering weight version.
Yeah. It's just you just do yourself a gauge swatch, and so long as you're getting the gauge and the pattern,
Well,
then you just
I can just no, I just do it so that I get a gauge that I like and then
math it.
figure out the math to like what size do I need to make to
Mhm.
get to like
Yeah.
what numbers from which size do I need to use the numbers to get the size that I actually want.
Yeah, it's really easy. That was my first thought. I was like, when that octopus sweater pattern comes out, I'm kind of thinking I need to do a fingering weight one.
So
But
the size range is really good. So because
I'm thinking
okay,
like bone chilling as the base color, as the
which one's
body
that?
color. It's white with really, really dark purple to black flecks in it. Like it's a winter color.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
do the black emerald as the octopus colorwork stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and then pick out a small bits in the right contrast for the little bits and bobs that are required for the rest of it. But yeah, I'm not thinking DK weight for if I make the octopus sweater when it comes out, like when it comes out and I buy it, right? I'm thinking fingering weight because I don't really I wear DK weight sweaters, but they're pretty limited. But those fingering weight ones, like those I can wear. So I need to remember that. That's what I need to work in. Anyway, I have a word for you for the
What is my
Patreon
word?
ad, though I do agree with the general thread today, which is like a couple of days ago for you guys. We collectively told a fellow Patreon member not to buy yarn.
I I don't understand. I came into the chat and I'm like, wait, we decided not to buy yarn?
Keep an eye out for the zombie apocalypse. It is nigh.
I posted a Twilight Zone gif, because what?
What? It made it made total sense. It made sense for us to say no this time, and we are not known for saying no. But we have to be
I was
honest.
very surprised.
We have to be honest. As a Canadian, and she's the particular member's Canadian, buying Knit Picks yarn is not good. It's not that the yarn isn't good, is that there is no sale to compensate for
My
the
yarn may have just arrived.
oh good.
Yes. Hey, look what just arrived. Thank you.
Well, while I finish talking about the non-joys of Knit Picks, open up your gun.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself so I don't crinkle in the microphone.
Totally fair. Because there are ordering minimums for Knit Picks, which is totally fine. Once you consider shipping from America to Canada, which is like as expensive as shipping from Canada to Canada, which is way more expensive than shipping from UK to Canada. Don't ask me how that works. Our dollar versus the American dollar and how big those minimums are for Canadian orders, she wouldn't have been saving any money. She would have been spending 2 or 3 times as much to get any savings at all, and they wouldn't be as good as the Americans' side of the deal would have been. So we just not even for a color that's normally in her wheelhouse. It's a very pretty color. Like, do not get me wrong, it's a very pretty color. And I like Knit Picks yarn. I would order more Knit Picks yarn if it wasn't
Well, bam.
so absurd. Oh yeah, mine is definitely darker than yours. The tweed is still
Yeah,
much
yeah.
darker.
Okay, so this
The
is
tweed is
it
much
is
darker.
okay. So to compare the two colors, this being the DK steel blue that's in the octopus sweater,
Yeah,
the it's much more of a like purpley gray. Like steel
yeah,
blue is a bluey gray. Um, I like a fresh bowl is a much more purpley gray.
right. But mine is much darker. Like all of these tweeds have
Yeah,
been
mine's
far
really
more
bright.
intense, far more intense. But okay. All right. So we said no just practically because it didn't
Thank
make
you.
sense. It just didn't make sense. Like now, if we were talking like a sale on like a local dyer or like Ancient Art Yarns or like someone in Canada, none of us would have said no. None of us would have said no. We would have been like, yeah, buy that yarn. Don't get me wrong, nitpicks. Give us a deal as good as you give the American people. I will happily purchase tons of your sock yarn because I love your sock yarn. I love your sock club colorways. I love your fingering weights. I like your DK weights. I would happily purchase nitpicks if it wasn't like an upper end yarn price for me because that's not what nitpicks is. Nitpicks should not be something to be compared to like Malabrigo yarns. Like it should not be what I'm looking at
It does come out to be about that by the time
about
you
the price
factor
of
in.
Malabrigo yarns for us. So why would I buy Nitpicks when I can buy Malabrigo if I'm spending the same amount of money in the end?
Yeah. The dollar plus shipping plus
It
yeah.
just it's just not a good deal for Canadians, which is sad because it's really nice yarn.
I know. Occasionally when the sale's really good and you're buying in bulk and like
Yeah.
maybe splitting an order with people,
Oh yeah, you if
then
you're
it can be
splitting
worth
an
it.
order, then yeah, because that works. Like if you and I were doing it, splitting an order because you were coming down in the next quarter or something, because then we're not shipping half of the thing again. Then
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, that makes total sense. But well, not for just a single purchase. That's not going to work. Ugh. All right. Anyway, I'm very glad your yarn arrived. I'm very glad that Mr. Diane is home today so he can bring you that yarn so you could
It was
see.
fantastic. It just like yarn
So good.
delivery.
So well timed. So well timed.
Amazing. Incredible time.
Your word
Not
today,
scripted.
no, God, was it? Your word today is galaxy.
Galaxy.
It is, but I had to tell people Patreon will say no sometimes. I mean, it's so rare we're looking for zombies now, but we will say no. We will help your wallets. We've done it once now. I'm sure we can do it again.
We showed restraint once. Do you remember that one time we showed restraint?
Oh my
That was
God,
a weird day.
it's gonna be a thing now for all of us.
All right. If you'd like to financially support these shenanigans, you can do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we occasionally show support or show support. We show restraint. We always show support, but we occasionally show restraint. Um, Again, now I need to work in the word galaxy, and it's not happening. Something about a galaxy far, far away. I, no, that's a fail. I'm sorry. I'll take the L.
You'll take the L.
I'll take the L.
Guys, you can find all of the details for Patreon, for all the tiers and all the things that each of those tiers get you available there. We do post programming schedules once a month, so everybody can see those. I do some free posts for everybody. As always, though, we super understand budgets. They are a thing. If you can't financially support, liking, commenting, subscribing here on YouTube, and following us on other social media platforms is a great way to show us what you're working on. Oh, gosh. That was delightful. That was Galaxy's not even that hard of a word. You've had tougher
No,
words.
I have.
Cool,
It
cool,
wasn't coming to me today.
cool, cool. Let's whip through admin and then we're done with this. We have the lit along, which has no end date.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go. We have the spring equinox craft with us, which is very quickly coming up on its close dates since we switch over to the summer solstice craft with us on the summer solstice. Everybody check your dates. That's coming up real quick.
Yeah, that's in June, right? Yeah, we've got a little bit of time. Little
Not
time.
that much
Little
time.
time.
Not
Little
that much
time.
time.
Oh, your camera went away.
Phaedra, now that the cat has been corralled, hopefully for the last few minutes of the podcast, we will do a live cast on party for the summer solstice on the summer solstice. That is what we do here. I will move on with the next craft with us, which means that's really all we have on the plates. As always, bonus content goes out when bonus content goes out. We try to push it out as fast as possible because we hate having it hang around in our queues. We just do. Patreon members get it first, and then it goes out live to YouTube peeps later.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think that's it. We're good.
Hope so.
Oh, so do I. So do I. All right, guys. I'm gonna see you till next week. I'm Jocelyn,
And I'm Diana.
and no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to
Don't
knit.
forget to knit.
Oh my god, totally forgot. The live's on Monday, not Sunday.
Oh my God, that's an important thing to mention. Yes.
Lord Almighty.